It's the National Football League on EA Sports. Up next, we'll get a look at Patrick Mahomes. He's fourth in the NFL in passing touchdowns this season. It's the Chiefs and the...
And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. From the 6. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as these guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Here comes the Kansas City offense, and in his 6th season of conducting this high-powered attack, coming off 4 straight Pro Bowls, it's Patrick Mahomes.
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in an age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
Mahomes not wasting time. He'll throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That's good for 28 yards.
This one was all about clearing space for this play to work because he's going to leak out of the backfield to his right and then angle his way up the field. And a really pretty throw to put it on him and create the big play downfield.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Throwing now is Mahomes. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. And a nice milestone reached on that last throw as here late in the season, he goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 32-yard line. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. Now a swing pass. It's Edwards-Helaire. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for 2nd down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Mahomes. This is caught. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs are on the board first here this afternoon. They're the favorite, no question. And when they score like that on the opening drive to set the tone, you're the underdog on the other bench. That's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, because you can't bring the home crowd into it, because you're counting on that to be a part of your equalizer, ride their momentum, but you have to give them something to cheer for. So now what you're worried about is they're better than we are. We can't get going. Are we about to get blown out?
Good news, still a long way to go. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback. This guy's an absolute stud. 6'1", Rawson Marshall Thurber.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game. So he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And his throw's going to be incomplete. An incomplete pass This leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. First carry of the ball game now. It's C.J. Anderson. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Chris Jones make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on 3rd down. And you make the home crowd go,
there is a hush indeed. On 4th down, Matt Ariza sent on to punt. Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. On 2nd down, a run with Edwards-Helaire. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. To throw again on 2nd down, Mahomes. And this pass caught by Gray. And the Chiefs are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line. Had the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on the skill position, guys. For those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. 3rd down and goal now. This Houston defense not backing down. They'll look for one more stop. He's got it. A gain of 2, just like we saw on 1st and 2nd down as well. Deuce is wild.
A short gain that doesn't get him the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. They'll go. It's Edwards-Helaire. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. An early decision point here, Charles. Maybe one we'll look back on later. They go on 4th and goal, and they punch it in for the touchdown.
We always talk about how football is a game of confidence, and that's how you get it right there. Leave your offense out there and tell them, I believe in you. And they pay it off with 6 points.
The extra point by Butker is on target, and it's now 14-0. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. Out now comes the Houston offense as you take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now back to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The quarterback sack. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Hardman on the return. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Isaac Yiadom in there to pick it. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. So problems with Aaron passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and you can't do it all on one throw.
Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. Frank Clark, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. They're going to look to throw. And he slings one that's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. And he'll air this one deep for Anderson. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And the Chiefs will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much, and it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
And now here comes Kansas City. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. Under pressure, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, those are the type of plays that can focus a defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just proved to themselves that they can get to him, and I expect them to continue to bring that type of pressure in order to try and turn around their fortunes.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Mahomes. They'll set up the screen to Edwards-Helaire. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. So we pause for an injured player, and now what you want to see, Juju Smith-Schuster. He's in some pain out there. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Here's Mahomes to throw. Here's Fuller with a catch. Touchdown! Will Fuller, 57 yards. And the Chiefs have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes the score 21-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Houston set to take over. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. Well, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I'd want to get right back out there and get after them because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after him.
Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 21-0 our score after 1. The Chiefs with the football as we start the second quarter, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. On 4th down, Tommy Townsend to punt for Kansas City. And now a low liner. I think he mishit him. Now here's Ross. Not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. They'll look to throw here. He's letting it fly for Cooks, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
Here's Hardman to return.
Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. The final 4 weeks of the NFL season are upon us, and we got some intriguing matchups in prime time. Tonight, Patriots and Raiders. That's in Vegas. Josh McDaniels taking on his former employer there. And then Monday Night Football, the Rams and Packers from what should be a frosty Lambeau Field at 8:15 Eastern Time, 7:15 locally there in Green Bay.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Edwards-Helaire, they'll try to run for it.
And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the 1st. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up 1st downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have.
Right back to Edwards-Helaire on 1st down.
And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
Mahomes on the give to Edwards-Helaire.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, here's Edwards-Helaire.
And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
First and 10, it's Edwards-Helaire with it. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. 59 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Mahomes now on 1st down. Completes it to Hardman.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
A 6-yard pickup. 2nd and 4 at the 23-yard line.
Throwing again on second down. Mahomes throwing the out route here, and it's complete to Kelsey. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Flush to his right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And he's got Hardman in the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Well, you talk about a team coming into an opposing stadium and just taking the life right out of a crowd. That's what we're witnessing here. 27-0, Charles.
And this defense, they've just looked completely unprepared for what's been thrown at them. And you know they're supposed to adjust series to series. That has not happened for them. So I don't think halftime adjustments are going to help a heck of a lot. They are in major trouble unless they figure out something really fast.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and a route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's got his man. It's the tight end, Brevin Jordan. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain. Second down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. He's got a man. Complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They'll try the middle with Anderson. And he'll get this down only to the 18. They run it again with Anderson. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. He goes underneath for Anderson. That's going to bring up 4th down. Only a gain of 2 there.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. So from an offensive perspective, at least able to get on the board here right in front of the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, now it's time to talk about complementary football, isn't it? Because if the defense can force a 3 and out, there could be enough time on the clock that they get the ball back for their offensive guys and maybe put some more points on the board before the half.
And they'll start at the 25 as McKinnon decides against returning it. Former first-rounder Clyde Edwards-Helaire ready to go here. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Mahomes going to throw. Toward the sideline, he will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. From just shy of midfield, Mahomes, he's going to air one out. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. Mahomes to throw on 3rd and 1. Quickly into the hands of Fuller. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Mahomes now on first down. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And again, it's Mahomes. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Throwing now is Mahomes. Now a swing pass. It's Edwards-Helaire. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So 3rd and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive. Now Mahomes. Able to find Gray here. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Everything's going right here in this first half, and they've got a good lead, and part of that can be attributed to their success on 3rd downs. This is another conversion here, and they could look to really open things up now with this 1st and goal.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Mahomes now to throw. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Clyde Edwards-Helaire as the first half is winding down. And the Chiefs will extend their lead here just before halftime.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Extra point by Butker is on target. And the route is on here in this first half. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll begin our tour up at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, where you see the final score there. Lamar Jackson, excellent in the W, as his guys get victory number 12 on the year. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for KC. And our statisticians got through a couple of pencils already. This offense is on pace for potentially 500 yards in passing. That's pretty incredible. Meanwhile, for the Texans, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. From the 10. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. And the Texans getting ready to go here to begin the third quarter. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. They'll look to throw again. Open man is Mechie, and he's got him. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 30. Up the middle, it's Anderson. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Again, Anderson. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. On 2nd down, Anderson. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They'll run Anderson. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. He gets this down to the 3, but no further. Brought the great move out of the bag, but couldn't do a ton with it. They'll run for it with Anderson. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Jet Anderson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans are able to cut into that deficit. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that will cut this lead down to 25. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And they'll start at the 25 as McKinnon decides against returning it. The KC offense and Clyde Edwards-Helaire getting the ball back here. He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground, because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has.
2nd down, back to Edwards-Helaire. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep.
They nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37.
10 more there and another first down.
Well, that'll help the old passing stats. Remember, it was a pop pass, so it's not a wide receiver run there, Charles.
Well, I like the way that you scored it, and that's exactly how it goes into the books. But remember, he's had success throwing the ball the standard way in this game. And here, this little tap pass, it goes for good yardage, a little something extra in his repertoire.
He can really smell 800 catches right now because that last one puts him at 799, knocking on the door.
3 yards remain for second down.
Here's Mahomes to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. On play action, it's Mahomes.
That's caught left side by the tight end, Gray. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a first down.
Here we go on 4th down. Dances by him. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. 4th and short got a whole lot more than he bargained for. He almost scored.
Yeah, how about that? Because you know how it is when you get all those bodies near the line of scrimmage. You often get engaged by blockers, and you can't get your hands on the ball carrier. And he breaks free, and he goes almost the distance.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. And he will throw this one out of the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. A line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal.
They'll run here with Edwards-Helaire.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
His 3rd touchdown of the game, 10th on the year.
And the Chiefs extend their lead yet again. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Butker now to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays.
And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
Fielded right around the 8. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
And now out comes Houston.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
From the gun, it's a give to Anderson. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And his throw here is going to be incomplete. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They'll drop to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield. This might be a roughing call. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Back to throw.
That's caught left side by the tight end, Jordan. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Back to throw again. It's caught left side by Cooks. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Handoff comes to Anderson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there. Doing it himself from 9 yards out.
And the Texans are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that will cut this lead down to 25. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And a 9-yard run on the end of it. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And they'll start at the 25 as McKinnon decides against returning it. Former first-rounder Clyde Edwards-Helaire ready to go here.
He has been a factor in a multitude of ways. Over 100 yards rushing. He's approaching that number in the receiving category, too.
And you know why I've always respected guys who can have these types of games? As a runner, you're going through a pile. People are raking at the football all the time. Your hands take a beating, okay? And to be able to still go out and catch the football in open field after going through that, that guy's dynamite.
He's been dynamite in this game so far. We'll see defensively if they have an answer because they need to come up with something. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Houston. The offense on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
A shotgun snap and a give to Edwards-Helaire.
And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. Here's the Chiefs punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. The good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return.
And the Texans will take over.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
We're facing a big 4th quarter deficit here. Things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season. But in this one, well, their defense has really struggled.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. Frank Clark picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now. And if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up, falling incomplete. The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 43. Here's Edwards-Helaire as they will start on the ground. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
Christian Harris on the tackle. 1 yard gain. Brings up
Second down, back to Edwards-Helaire. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Edwards-Helaire as they run out of the gun. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on to kick it away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Houston's offense taking over again. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing. Trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jordan. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up
2nd and 2. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front and getting to them. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Throw over the middle, caught by Jordan. And he is going to have a Texans 1st down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. Again, he'll drop to throw. A quick throw, but incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this is incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll set up to throw. He gets it to Cooks. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They'll look to throw. There again is Cooks, complete. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal. Another tote here for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Anderson. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
3rd and goal, try to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. They kept it in the air on 4th, Charles. They ran on 1st and 2nd down, tried it through the air on 3rd and 4th. Couldn't come away with anything on 4th and goal.
And remember, in these situations, the field is really condensed. Everything is squeezed tight. So as a defender, you can actually take more chances here because they won't have as much time to throw the football, and a receiver really can't run past you. If they do, they run out the back of the end zone. Nice job by the D, shutting them down.
Taken down at the 14-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup.
Here's Edwards-Helaire. Shifts by him, and he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line.
Taken down at the 19-yard line. A gain of 5. First down, Kansas City.
They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 164 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
A little bit of space there for the first down run as that's going to get him about 5 yards. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. On 2nd down, a run with Edwards-Helaire. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Mahomes on the give to Edwards-Helaire. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38.
That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
So this one in the win column for Kansas City. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
So for Kansas City, it's a 10th win of the year now as they move to 10-4. And they will head home next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for Houston, the rough season continues as they've plunged to 1-13. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville.